Hi, I'm Chris from Renaissance Fitness. This is Ollie. So this year we thought we'd bring to you a short video series, basically summarising the things in fitness that we think you should implement and are worth doing. We're going to try and keep it as simple as possible. The series is called Fitness 101 and the subject for today is calories.
Right, so calories can be a really confusing subject. You know, people think, are they important, aren't they? We want to bring the most basic thing. If you want to lose weight, you have to be in a calorie deficit. You know, that's what we mean by Fitness 101. Weight loss requires a calorie deficit. You can think that you need to reduce your carbohydrates, you need to reduce your fat, you need to do fasted cardio, intermittent fasting. All these things are way beyond where you need to be. All you need to think,
forget about it.
You've got to be in a calorie deficit. If you're in a calorie deficit, you'll lose weight. So, to think of that, this is where we're going to bring about basically different foods have different calorie amounts, obviously. But all you need to do if you want to be in a calorie deficit is make better choices. You don't need to track your calories. You don't need to think, okay, so I need 2,500 calories a day. Let's write down all the calories I'm eating. All you need to do is what we're going to call the marginal gains theory. And that is that you just need to be a little bit better. You need to make small changes and be aware of some of the foods you eat and how high in calories they might be. So a few simple examples we want to give are things like a latte versus an Americano. So really simple example is if you've got a cup of coffee, now with an Americano it's just a shot of coffee and then all this through here is water and then a little bit of milk at the top, just that. That's about 40 calories. Now if you have a latte or something like a flat white, you have your shot of coffee and then all this is milk. So before you know it, it's about 250 calories.
Which is a ridiculous amount when you think compared to the 40 offered to you from effectively the same drink.
Yeah, so you could go to an Americano, or let's say you had 2 Americanos a day instead of 2 flat whites. You're saving yourself about 400 calories a day. That's almost a pound a week that you could be losing if you went from being, you know, in calorie maintenance to taking yourself 400 below. You'd be losing almost a pound a week of fat. And it's just one effortless change. So this is what we're talking about, you know.
And not only are you saving yourself the calories, you're almost saving them for later, as it were. We did speak before, we think of it as money. If you have 400 calories to spend, why would you spend it all immediately on the first thing you see in the shop, which is your coffee in the morning? Have the 40 calorie one, and you've got 350 calories to play with for the rest of the day.
Yeah, so that's a really good point. You know, what we're trying to say is, you know, keeping it really simple with calories is just look at the foods you're eating and maybe look for lower calorie options. So you could be going for the lower fat yogurt, flick it over and think, okay, yeah, that one has got 100 less calories than that one. Simple change.
And this is where we're trying to dispel, we're trying to get rid of some of the confusion that comes with food packaging. I mean, you flip it over and you see a hell of a lot of numbers on the back of a packet. Ignore everything except the one that says calories and kcals. Yes, proteins, carbs and fats are important. We will come to them, we will simplify them, teach you how to utilise them, and then you can implement it. To start with, just focus on calories. Easiest way to do it.
Yeah, just lower calorie options. Because you don't need to know you're in a calorie deficit. You don't need to know that if you need 2,000 calories to maintain your weight, you're always eating 1,700. We don't actually track our calories. All you need to be doing is making better choices. So, for example, things we just wouldn't do day to day is have stuff like a latte or a coffee with cream. I wouldn't have a packet of nuts a day because 100 grams of nuts is 600 calories. I'd be careful about these dense sources of calories. I wouldn't cook my food in 2 tablespoons of olive oil because olive oil is about 120 calories per tablespoon. I would use fry light. So for me not having a latte...
Great trick for reducing calories, fry light. Great trick.
Me having fruit over nuts and me having fry light, I could be having 500, 600, 700 calories less a day than someone else, and suddenly it's easy for me to maintain my weight. And that's what I mean by calories. Those small changes can make a massive difference.
And you don't actually need the calories. The world we live in, the processed world we live in today, makes us think that we do. Take orange juice as your example. If I said, right, sit down and eat these 7 oranges, you'd really struggle. You'd get bored, you'd just struggle to hack through them. In a bottle of orange juice, your kind of pure stuff, when would you ever sit down and eat 7 oranges? You wouldn't, but a couple of seconds later after a swig and you've had 3, 4, swig again and you're at that 7 mark. It's far too much for what you need, if that makes sense. So revert kind of more towards your... yes, don't stay away from orange juice, but in moderation. is kind of the point we're trying to make. And check what you're eating. Just check on the back, it's easy.
Yes, so that's it. That's all we want to give. Today's kind of first fitness 101 is to lose weight, you have to be in a calorie deficit. You have to be eating less calories than you take in, and keeping it really simple to get you along the way. The first thing to do is look at trying to make better choices than you're already making. So looking at some of the foods you have and thinking, okay, is there a lower calorie option than that? And if you just do that and you manage to cut 200-300 calories out of your day, that's what we're calling the marginal gain series. That's a few percent better, but those few percent over a year is 350, 700% better, and you will see a big difference.
It's a huge change, but it's such small things. The way we thought we'd do this, if we bring out a video a week, or we're going to try and bring you a video a week with a little bit of information, if you can implement that into your lifestyle, then as far as we're concerned, you've succeeded already. First week 1, you've implemented calories. Week 2 will bring you something else. Week 3, week 4, before you know it, you've got the whole thing, you understand it, and you're putting it into practice weekly as you go along.
That's it. So think about that. We challenge you, 1 change a week, no more.
It's New Year, so if you